Hey everybody! Hey Thought Positive Tribe, how you guys doing? Welcome to Self Love Sundays. I have with us today Miss Chelsea Evans and Miss Tamica Monroe. Miss Comedian Tamica Monroe. How y'all doing?
Good.
Good.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, thank you.
Absolutely. So we'll get started. Yes, indeed. And first, I want to see, do y'all have anything just like, if you take a deep breath, does anything pop in your mind or anything?
Not in the moment.
Not in the moment.
Okay.
It's a chill Sunday, just letting it flow.
Nice.
That's it.
Wonderful. So we have, our questions that come in and everything like that. So from the questions that were coming in from some women, one of the things that kind of seemed like a universal theme was like loving the skin that you're in. Mm-hmm. That's kind of like what would sum up the questions that were coming in as to be like loving the skin that you're in. And I want to see if one of you guys can start us off with what that means to you. What does loving the skin you're in mean to you?
It means loving yourself no matter how you look in that present time, no matter how much you try to lose weight, you're loving yourself, no matter what it says on the scale or how like clothes that you can't fit at this particular time that you really, really want and desire. You still need to love on yourself how it is.
Yeah.
It's your body.
Absolutely. I agree with her. Just to piggyback off of that, like it's all about enjoying the journey. A lot of people look so forward to the outcome that we don't even take a moment to appreciate where you are currently right now in your journey, no matter where that is. I feel like loving the skin you're in also has to do with like your inner peace. It has to do with self-reflecting, like I said, about the journey. So just take a moment to appreciate that you've come a long way, whether you notice it or not. People kind of notice it for you a lot of times before you even notice. So,
yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
It's important.
It's very important. And just, when you look in the mirror, you need to make sure, like, if you can look in your mirror naked and be like, I love my body, that's the inner peace for yourself. Like,
absolutely.
You have to.
And then once you get there, you can be as free as Lizzo. Like, I aim to be as free as Lizzo.
Mm-hmm. Because baby, she be everywhere and just loving her body. She is definitely that chick. Like she is.
Yeah.
So full on confidence.
You know what? I do want to get that 2-piece, and I'm gonna wear that too. I'm like, yes, get the Lizzo in you. Yes,
exactly. When I think of loving the skin you're in, as women, we just go through so many different phases of bodies. Like we have like 30 bodies in our lifetime,
Mm-hmm.
and being a mommy and gaining the weight, losing the weight, or being someone that has a history of like eating disorders, I can gain like a significant amount of weight in a few months. Like we're talking 30 to 40 pounds in a few months from having a binge eating disorder linked to depression. So I think, not beating yourself up for what you look like physically. And I think the real work starts on the inner man. I think it's important for us to work on this because if this ain't right, we can't start making any improvements that we may want to make to the outside. It's not going to last. It's not going to last. So I think that we got to do a lot of, inner man work before we start even worrying about what our bodies look like. And, just to kind of backpedal, the overarching theme was loving the skin you're in. But one of the questions was, do you think there's enough representation in mainstream media when it comes to like Black women's body types?
I feel like it's getting there. Like I know Savage Fenty just put out some stuff. And it was like representation. Like representation really matters. And so I know with Ivy Park, Beyonce put out some stuff for
I was just about to say that.
Yeah, like, okay, we're finally getting to that point, because at first it wasn't like that. Like, you couldn't find particular outfits, or like these
It was
celebrities
the worst.
pulling out. Yeah, like
I remember it was the worst. I hated everything about it. I was just like, child, I'm just gonna be caught in some jeans and a t-shirt because this is ugly.
listen, and dress it all up and feel good. Like, I know I look good.
Right. And I am so excited. I'm gonna try to catch Ivy Park. Are y'all gonna try it? Y'all gonna try to catch it?
Absolutely.
I don't know if y'all tried harder last week.
Like, trying to, my husband, he's been really trying to like look it up for me, and I'm like, oh, okay, cool. If you want to do that for me, great.
Yes.
Did she release her clothing line already? She released it?
Yeah, she released it.
She did. Is it sold out? Usually it's sold out.
Like, it's sold out within minutes. It was
okay. So Ivy Park, and then what about Fenty? Fenty sold out.
Something in a basket already or something. I don't know how I'm gonna do this, but I'm gonna get it this time because it's just too cute, and the plus size is just everything. And I'm like, okay, I can get with all of this.
Absolutely,
yes.
absolutely. So I do think that there's definitely more representation just overall for, different body types now. Like, you'll see like maybe walking in the mall, you'll be like, oh, wow, okay, she's a big model that's, being represented.
In her crop tops, like that.
In a crop top, yes, exactly. It's like, okay, and it's cute. Yes. It's cute. I pride you on, Miss Chelsea. Guys, what's your Instagram?
Pinned by Chels.
Say it again.
By Chels.
One more time.
Pinned, PENNED by Chels.
Okay, y'all. Guys, she will have the most beautiful photos. Her husband does films and photography, so she'll have her body all in this beautiful chocolate glory, 2 pieces, and so many cute things that most of society would be like, oh, why is she wearing that? She's bigger, and it's so cute. And her husband you just see the love between them two, and how he supports her and loving her and feeling comfortable wearing, clothes like that. And I just love it. I just love it. That's why I thought of you to kind of help overarching the skin that you're in, because I really do think that you're doing like a ministry work, honestly, for young girls and women. To really be like, oh, okay, she's rocking that. I can do that too, and I should feel comfortable doing that. And the more of us that do that, the more normal that will be.
Yeah. Because I have a lot of women have came to me and it's like, oh my gosh, Chelsea, like you are wearing this. I feel like I can do the same thing. Like you feel confident in what you're wearing. I want to be like that too. So, but I tell them all the time, it takes time. It just didn't come to me overnight. Like I had to work at this.
So tell me how you worked at getting to the point where you're so, your body and able to display it publicly.
Yeah, so one of my sister friends, her name is Nacelle Connor. She's a therapist. Shout out to Beyond the Happy here. She literally changed my whole mindset. She would always tell me okay, Chelsea, who told you couldn't wear this? It's all in your mind. Like no one is actually telling you can't wear that 2-piece or you can't wear that swimsuit or that crop top because it's all in your mind. When you go out in public, people don't care what you are wearing. It's just your mind. So you have to change your mind.
I love that.
I love that you say, oh, you shouldn't be wearing that. They're going about their business. That's all, you are internally thinking about that.
I love that. You can think of
Yes, and you have to get to the root of that.
I'm there. I'm at the fear stage. I'm so cover uppy, it don't even make no sense.
Don't cover up.
T-shirt and jeans right now.
No, don't do it. Just and I had to get to that point where I felt confident. Okay, once I wore, I went to the beach. I had my 2-piece. My first time wearing my 2-piece was in Miami. So I was like, man,
that's the place to do it.
Yeah. That was the first time I had my 2-piece, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna go out here and do it. And I did it.
When you did it
around, and no one was paying attention to me.
Nobody was like, oh,
because they're half naked too, and they looking crazy. Some of them, you see the wild.
You see a lot of stuff. once you look around and see that no one is really paying attention to you, it's like, why?
Okay. I'm imagining all of this stuff, right? But you know what it is that who's in their 30s? Okay, so we grew up not seeing anyone that was thick, curvaceous, or anything. Like there's, we even had the heroin chic Kate Moss period of time. We had the Cindy Crawfords. We had the, either chiseled and muscular like Tyson Beckford, or you're super skinny with long legs like a Tyra or a Naomi.
The only person we had was Queen Latifah.
That was it. And then they kind of made her
talking about this last night. That's so crazy.
All her roles were kind of like masculine. So it's like, okay, so if I'm bigger, so I'm not feminine.
I gotta be
funny.
I lose my femininity the more pounds are on the scale, I guess. Okay.
And all of a sudden you don't have love interest. You're just the funny home girl. Like the girl
it's never the love interest. Exactly. You're right. Exactly.
It's like the funny homegirl with no love interest, no nothing. You just there to be funny and
be entertainment.
That's crazy.
The Parkers.
The Parkers.
Why couldn't that be like a real love interest for her? Why did it have to be like a joke or like a pipe dream?
Ooh.
Yeah. Why does she have to be a stalker?
Right.
The whole show.
Just like silly.
But that's the imagery. That's the imagery that they have, and it's crazy. I'm happy that it's starting to become more familiar, but I would love for Black women to be put at the forefront. Like, I don't know, I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't know a whole lot of white actors and actresses' names, but the big white actors, they'll have a movie with a love interest before a Black one. It's interesting. I've seen it that way, but I don't know. We'll have to see. I have to see the progression in that.
It's a good point. Yeah. So let's see who has been represented. Oh, well, they did away with the Victoria's Secret. What is it? The Angel show that they do every year. They did away with it because the people spoke, and the people said, "We're tired of this. We're tired of you, showing us these women that none of us look like, and sexualizing, and all of you like stars, A-listers line up and pick which model you're gonna date next." I think it's very not healthy for us women to be watching that. So they kind of did away with that, and they went out the window. Fenty came in the window, and why did she take over?
That is so crazy. She sure did.
Why? How and why? Why? Because she was smart. She said, "What's going on with this game here? There's not a representation of a lot of different races. There's not a representation of a lot of different body types. Everyone is not 6'2" or 6'3". Okay,
absolutely.
So that's everybody can wear and enjoy. Okay, and that has a good price point. Well, let's do it. And they took over. And then she took that and did her makeup.
You know what was insane? There was a couple of years back during a Super Bowl where Lane Bryant had an ad, and the entire world was in an uproar.
Oh, really?
They were like, well, you just played soft porn.
Are you serious?
Oh, yes, the entire world. That ad got pulled from the halftime commercials.
I remember
it was a couple of years ago with the NFL, it was the Super Bowl, it was the ad campaign for Lane Bryant, and they were in their little bras and panties, advertising, just like Victoria's Secret. And then, one group of people were like, well, hold on now. You got Victoria's Secret and nobody sees anything wrong with that. But as soon as you got a woman with curves and some butt and some boobs for days, there's a problem.
Hey, that makes me go to the next question that came in, and that was, do you feel as though Black women's body types are sexualized? Do you feel as though they're sexualized in the mainstream media? With that goes for film, music videos, and all of that. Do you feel as though the Black woman's body type is sexualized? And do you think that a body type being sexualized is a negative or a positive thing?
Ooh. But do we got time?
We got time. We got 45 minutes.
Look, I don't want to go over our little segment minute, but I was just gonna say that wait, what was the question again? I literally just sort of blanked that fast.
It's okay. So do you feel as though Black women's body types are sexualized in the mainstream? And if they are, is it a negative or a positive thing?
Not only are they sexualized, but they're mimicked to the point that it's really, it's kind of scary. There's so many white people, Latin people, Asian women are going to the extent of bronzing their face and their makeup so much and giving themselves baby hairs and getting they Brazilian butt lifts and getting they lip fillers to look like a light-skinned woman. It's insane.
Or like a biracial woman or something, yeah.
Like, I mean, when I started noticing that, I was just like, okay, we are clearly under attack. And the fact that a lot of Black men are actually falling for the okie doke and signing up for that, it's even more insane, because you actually have Black women with real curves, with, you know, with exactly what that person is imitating.
It's interesting, right? So what is that telling you?
Because you think that Black women are too strong, too independent, too outspoken.
Hold on. Time out. Do you really think that that's the reasoning why? That is just an excuse why they're not.
I agree that it's the excuse, but that's also their reasoning.
It's like, not the reasoning. It's not really the problems. It's not a reason. It's just it sounds good because, again, we have the most stereotypes of any race in the world. Okay. So it's so easy to go and pick 5 or 6 different reasons, and then, you know, everyone kind of band together and say, yeah, that's the reason why. That's the reason why we don't Black women, because they're this, and that. It's just perpetuating stereotypes instead of knocking stereotypes.
Right.
Instead of saying, you ain't going to talk about my Black woman. Yeah, I might like this Brazilian girl. Maybe I like her hair. Maybe I don't like hair weaves. So they don't want to be honest about what it really is. It's you don't like our hair grade. You don't like that we can't just get up and you know, go and shake it out and go. We might be wearing extensions, which they wear too.
All the time.
But anyway, you know, they may not like braids. They may not like, they grew up with Black women in the house. They may not like how they saw, we're getting somewhere, their mother or their sisters treated by men. So they say, I don't want that for my daughter. I do want to have kids. I do want to procreate, but I'm going to make this a little bit easier for them. Okay. I don't want them to have to be as strong as I saw my sister be. And I don't want them to have to be as strong as I saw my mom having to be, or as heartbroken, as easily discarded and devalued. Okay. So they come up with some reasonings why. Oh, they're loud. Oh, they're too aggressive. Oh, they're too masculine. You know?
And we lost her. She was going in.
Oh no! No! Find your way back. Find your way back.
Like Beyonce. Yeah. But, do you remember like Teacher Bay? I don't know if you remember Teacher Bay. She was
no.
It was one time, several times. Like, you know how we have curves as Black women. We have curves, and whatever we put on, we can insinuate those curves. Well, there was a big thing that, you know, she was working at the school where people wasn't liking what she was wearing, and all she was wearing was like maybe a pencil skirt or something, or like it wasn't that bad. It was just that it was hugging her. And about that.
I think I remember. She was kind of thick. Right?
Yeah, she was thick. Yes. And so they were like, oh, you know, what is she doing wearing all of this stuff? But it's like, she looks good in it, and y'all have a problem with it because, like, another person can wear this outfit, same outfit, but you have a problem with her wearing it because she's insinuating her curves. Like
exactly. And I've always been like thick my whole life. I don't remember a time when I wasn't thick. Okay, so and I personally, yay, she's back! Oh my gosh, she's back!
Is she back?
Yeah, hold on, let me add her back. Yeah, Tamica, yay!
I mean, it's still ghetto for me. I'm sorry.
Oh, it's
I don't
okay.
know what happened.
No, I was just saying, you know, I've always been thick my whole life, and you know, I may not have wanted that kind of attention from men. You know, I've always been kind of like a really serious, heady kind of girl, and it seems like, you know, say I go to church, say I go to school, say I go somewhere that, with some kind of a conference, okay?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of stuff is going on up here. I got a lot of wealth of knowledge up here. But let me see up. Let's see if you can see.
Okay.
But I also got a lot of this back here. So
Hey
this,
now.
so this is what is causing the problem, okay? So it's causing problem with women and men. So the women is looking at me and ready to punch me, and the men are looking at me like, this is gonna be my 5 o'clock dinner.
You say it's kind of being looked at like a piece of meat.
I don't like being looked at as a piece of meat. I mean, recently, I'm recently divorced, and I came out with like a PSA: do not come in my inbox. Do not disrespect me. I don't want you. And if you come in my inbox, I'm gonna, expose it publicly because I feel like it's rude. You're being disrespectful. If I'm not coming at you or giving any of that energy out there, I don't know why I have to deal with weeding through all of this whenever I'm trying to get to my business emails and talk to Tamica about when she can come on the show. And I got to read through, hey, sexy, I see your legs. Sex. I'm not posting anything to give that, and I don't want to see that. It really, it actually disgusts me. I don't think it's cute. Shanita Moore is in the comments. She says, I'm tired of being looked at like a piece of meat. What do y'all have to say to tell to Shanita? What would you like to share with her?
Ooh. Absolutely. You shouldn't have to alter your look to appease men or even make them not be so all over you. You should be able to wear your skirt and your crop top and not look like a hamburger to him. Mm-hmm. You should be able to be cute and not have to worry about being under attack.
Exactly. And I think that our race of women are the ones that are under attack.
Because we have
sex with us, but they do not want to come and value us. So it's always, woo you, devalue you, kick you to the curb, right? So you got to kind of know what's going on, ladies. Don't have a low self-esteem. You're gorgeous. You're beautiful, okay? And you need to understand you have a right to say no. I know that it's hard for us to say no because we don't like to be mean. And you see men capitalize on the fact that we don't want to be rude. We don't want to be mean. Okay, you just crossed the boundary coming at me with anything. So I have the right to put up my stern boundaries, and that's not being rude. That's respecting myself, respecting my space, and respecting my energy. I have about this much time to be on this platform right now, or on this social media platform, or wherever I am, and you are in my way. Or let's say I'm at a conference. I have about this much time on my break to go and mix and mingle with a few people. Yet you are taking up my space, and you're making me miss an opportunity to go do what I need to do. I need you to get out of my way because now you are actually, it's that deep. You are actually taking me off path of my journey and where I'm trying to get to in life by coming at me in a disgusting way because you are acting out what you want to do in the flesh and you are not respecting our space.
You better say that. That is absolutely facts. For real.
For real.
Mm-hmm. And they gotta respect that and not make you feel like you're wrong for having that type of standard.
So Miss Shanita says, but she has to say, she's talking on the other side of things. Some women like that attention. So how does a man discern whether or not a woman wants that type of attention?
He gotta know who he's dealing with. He gotta figure that out.
And the signs are there.
The signs should be there, yeah.
They there.
Right there. He will know. Like, should I continue to pursue, or should I be like, I need to step back? Like, this ain't it.
Exactly.
He will know because she would let him know.
How does a woman make herself? A lot of people, especially women in their 20s, the 20s is a time when you make a lot of mistakes. I'm not saying that you don't in any other decade, but the 20s is like a time where you have a lot of boundary issues. You may actually be raped, okay? Meaning that you went to someone's home, okay? You had on your cute dress, you had dinner with them, right? And y'all are supposed to be just like hanging out, right? And then the person starts coming on to you, right? You didn't go there with any intention to sleep with them, right? And then they really press up on you, right? And then they like start touching and funneling on you, right? And you feel a certain kind of way, like you don't have any control at that point to say no because you already let them do A, B, and C. Now you did D, right? And
that is so true.
Yeah, yeah.
When you're so young like that, yeah, you feel like, and he fine. Oh,
yeah,
you know, I don't mind.
Yeah.
In fact, you do mind.
You actually do mind, right? You're gonna mind whenever you're not in his presence the next day and you can't reach it. Okay, and you realize how important you were to him. So, you know, I think learning to say no, even like, oh, no, I don't think I want to go to your house. I have a TV at home and I can watch this at home. You can plan our next date. We can go Dutch, whatever, but I don't want to be in your house. I don't know you that well, and I don't know your intentions for me. We haven't even, I don't
Because
know
men
your
are the
middle
king of chill. If you let them chill, they're gonna chill you to death.
Netflix and chill is a real thing.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
And they think they actually think it's a real thing.
Yeah.
And it's because we've let on that it is a real thing. But in actuality, like, boy, if you don't go take me to get a burger or something.
But
At least the burger.
but there are some women who live off of that too. Like Netflix and chill is a real thing for them too. It's not just one-sided for men. It's one.
Oh,
That's
okay.
true.
Oh, we're talking for the other side too. Okay, so
Mhm.
so do you feel like men get taken advantage of?
Ooh.
I mean, it depends on what woman they're dealing with. Because
Yeah.
some women are very good at what they do.
Okay,
If the
so let's
match
make
is
a
what the
scenario.
match is, the
Let's
match
make a
is.
scenario.
Oh,
Well,
like
let's
the scenario.
say George is a coworker and George is married, and Tasha is like his work buddy, which turns into his work wife. They get very comfortable with each other. They start understanding each other's personalities. Tasha's like, hey, do you want to come over like after work? I know it's like really flooding like on your side of town. So maybe you can come over with me until it stops raining and then go home. So he goes, one thing leads to another, and he does something he wasn't supposed to do. Do you think that she took advantage of him, or do you think that he needs to understand who he is truly and learn to have more boundaries?
He shouldn't have ever went.
He shouldn't have went.
He responsible for him. And
Yeah,
him
especially if he's
only.
married. No.
So she didn't
Yeah,
take
no,
advantage of
he
him.
has to be held accountable for his part.
Yeah.
I mean, because females gonna be there, just like men are gonna be there. You're gonna work with fine men all the time. You're gonna work with fine women all the time. But you have to be held accountable for yourself
your actions.
and
Mhm.
know right from wrong and what you're
Do
putting
you
on the
think-
line. Because she don't know what you're putting on the line. She
Right.
just know that the title is that you married. But you
Exactly.
don't know what that marriage entails. You know, with that person, your soulmate, your whatever that is.
Some people don't hold those regards to a high standard either. They're like, oh, you're married? Okay.
That's
This
even
is
more.
true.
That's all the more
true.
for them
Mm-hmm.
to conquer
That's true.
that.
Yes, it's a yes.
Yes.
So do you
Yes.
think that if you, let's say someone goes into your DM or somebody like is trying to message you on Facebook or any platform that you use and you try to be polite, do you think they take that as you opening the door for them to keep hitting you up and trying to flirt, and you were honestly just trying to be that nice that day? Like, oh yeah, hi, I'm having a good day. All right, thanks for asking, bye. Or should you shut that down right away? So I'll tell you, like, let's rewind like 5-6 years. I would be like the nice person, like, oh, hey, yeah, I'm just having a lunch. Yeah. You know, it wouldn't go anywhere. But the person like always was in there, and it's like, oh, you're really like bothering me, but I don't know how to tell you not to. Whereas let's fast forward to today. I'm just like, no, we're not doing that. I don't use my inbox for this. Stop. Because I don't want to be engaged in a 10-year relationship with somebody. And they're led on. They're thinking, oh, this is going to be my new day. And I'm just like, oh, I'm just being nice. I think being nice, we need to start looking at that word being nice in a different way.
Yeah.
Being nice to yourself or being nice to someone else. Sometimes what holds a higher, worth? Being nice to someone else or being nice to yourself? It's a self-love issue again. It's deep. It's a self-love issue. If I'm being nice to myself, I shut down the conversation. If I'm being nice to them, then I let it keep going. This person just bulldozed through all my boundaries because I didn't want this at all.
Ooh.
Wow. That's a loaded one.
Yeah, that's right.
No, for real.
You
want to go ahead?
Yeah, just because you continue the conversation, like a little, just to continue the conversation a little bit, doesn't mean you devaluing yourself either. It just depends on how far in that conversation are you trying to go. Like if somebody reaches out to me and says, "Hi, you look really pretty," I do say thank you. I say, "Oh, thanks." And if they continue on, I'm like, I just ignore them, and then that's it. But that's really up to that person how they want to continue on that. And it depends on what the other person says too.
Exactly. That's what I was going to say. Like, if somebody is reaching out to me, because I don't know a lot of the people that I'm at, and I don't know if it's for business, I don't know if it's for comedy, I don't know which endeavor it's for, I accept a lot of people. But once they get in my DMs and, they're like, hey, how you doing? I'm like, hey, how can I help you? So I can understand what this
Like,
is
what's
about
happening?
before I completely just dismiss you, thinking,
What's happening?
the wrong thing. So depending on that, I will definitely, I appreciate your compliment or whatever they're giving. But if it's something that I've told you, okay, this ain't it, like, what are you doing? Like, I'm not entertaining that. And I'm not going to tell you again. I'm actually going to just block you and just call it a day, unfriend you, block you, and then move around because I just don't have the time and energy to explain myself.
I agree. Like if I put something in my story, it's like, oh, you look pretty or something. Oh, thank you. I mean, this person. That's kind of like you're walking by somebody and they go, oh, nice dress, thanks, and they leave it at that.
Right.
That's
exactly.
You come back and you're like.
And so it doesn't get to the disrespectful
dresses and that. Do you ever wear them shorter? I'm like, wait a second, what? Like, oh no, we're not gonna do that. We're not gonna do that.
Right.
And people do weird things like that.
Yeah.
And I think it's very rude. And a lot of times it's people that are in relationships. That's what makes it very disturbing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's the weird one
too. It's really weird. It's.
I think that we really need to work on our what's nice, saying no, and having boundaries, clear boundaries, and firm boundaries. And I think that it'll clear up a lot of problems, for single people and for people that are in relationships. Just
definitely
one of the parties has to like be serious about their boundaries and really have those things in check. That's something that not everybody develops soon. I mean, we're developing those things in our 30s, 40s, 50s, like boundaries, I think they're very important. It's so important.
I feel like in your 20s where you should be trying to set those boundaries for yourself. Not even if it's for somebody else, it's for you.
Absolutely.
Like, know your work, know your standards, know how far you need to go in order for somebody to come to you rather than always trying to rush and get somebody. Like, you can be pursued. It's okay. Like, be pursued.
Yeah, I was actually going to transition into that. I was going to say, at the beginning of our friendship, I would say, because we didn't even immediately go into dating, we started a friendship first. So at our friendship, we did set those boundaries. We did set those expectations of like, okay, we're not going to be having sex. This is nothing like that. I don't want that. He didn't want that. We wanted something that we could actually build and turn it into actually something and not just another failed relationship.
I love it. I love that. So you made that clear. I mean, it sounds like like duh, what's so special about what she said? No, it's really important. You would be surprised how many times things go left because hormones and humans together, you don't know what's going to happen.
Right, so you just don't know.
Put some of that stuff down and make sure that is clear up front so, you're on the same page.
Exactly.
And you're like in when we do get to this part, it's because we're actually in a relationship together, not just because we're like doing something and then hoping something comes out of it that's good. That's horrible.
Right. Exactly.
I might even get your feelings hurt.
Yeah.
Desiree LeBlanc, you said respect each other's boundaries and the access the person gives you.
That's actually my cousin. Hey, Desi Lou. I love that. Yeah. Respect my space and pace. Yes. I honestly, like with the pacing thing, like if the other person does not respect that, then they are not for you. Like,
wow.
You have to be in agreement to that.
Wow. You know what? Let's say you do decide to be in a relationship, right? Man, it just starts going really fast. The person's telling you everything about me. Like, oh my gosh, this person loves me so much. Oh my gosh, let's get married. Woo! 6 to 8 months, you're married. Woohoo! Woo! About 4 months into that thing, you're like, who is this person? Did you slow things down or did you just go along for the ride? So that person bulldozed you, just pushed through any boundaries and just made up their own case, and you just got stuck in the tumbleweed of it all and the excitement of it all and the new love, mushy feelings of it all. And now you're like, what in the world did I just do to myself?
Sex blurs lines.
Ooh, go ahead. Say it.
You know, sex blurs lines, and it can change. I always talk about this in comedy. Like, it can change your whole life.
Wow.
Good, bad, or
That's good. Yeah.
You got to be cautious. So,
Ooh.
yeah.
I agree. I think that, you know, if we really see this thing that we're in as a temple, eating it correctly, we need to be loving it. We need to be speaking to it nicely, just like we water plants. Like, oh wow, let me go water the plant. You know, like, are you watering your plant? Are you watering yourself? Are you taking care of yourself? Are you letting things? Are you gonna let people drop cigarette butts in your plants that are on your, you know, and like just literally just let them do it?
No.
Like sleeping with strange people or people you haven't checked out in their spirit. What's going on in there? What are they about? You're literally throwing cigarette buds in your spirit. You're throwing cigarette butts.
That's a great way to look at that.
I've never looked at it that way either.
You're throwing cigarette butts in your vagina. Okay, that's not okay. Like, that's
not okay
at all.
At all. That's not
an ashtray.
Not good.
Taking it sometimes and just going putting out the little light on it in your heart. You know. So you really gotta learn to really honestly, truly love yourself. Like, there's a lot of steps to doing that because you really have to like love yourself.
Yeah.
And a lot of times we're spending a lot of our lives and decades and years roll by, and we keep on trying to figure out how come I can and how am I going to get into, and hey, why don't you get into loving yourself? Why don't you get into falling in love with yourself and really connecting with everything that you like to do? That is a hard task too. It may take as long as it takes to get a college degree. You know, like, what do I like to do? How am I going to get to do those things? Okay, maybe I need to get better at those things. Okay, so when you're doing all of that stuff, you're not going to be so focused on, oh, I'm so happy that somebody decided that they like me today.
Yeah, you know, that's another thing. People should take a moment to get to know yourself. Date yourself. Find out what you like and what you don't like.
Take yourself on a date.
Exactly.
Yeah, like it was a thing. Like, I really did date myself. I took myself on trips and everything.
Yes,
I did that
I was
too.
just out there living. Okay, I was like, you know what? Because
and I have a girlfriend best friend with my daughter. My daughter's grown, so I go everywhere with her. Like, so I'm good. You know,
I feel like it's just wrong to set the expectations up for someone else to do for you when if you can't afford to do those things for yourself.
One more time.
I feel like it's wrong to expect the next person or your partner to do things for you that you couldn't afford to do for yourself. Like, if you expect those trips, those nice dinners, be able to afford yourself too.
Yes.
Like, you want those fancy handbags, make sure you have bought yourself a few before.
Absolutely.
Before you set that expectation for the next person.
That's right.
You know.
That's right. Okay, so how about this? So you're dating somebody, you don't have any luxury handbags, you don't have anything super spectacular. You're just kind of like taking care of yourself and doing what you need to do and staying on a budget that's responsible for your particular salary or whatever, right? Yeah. Okay, so with this man, right? And you're like, hey. A lot of women have that never full bag, the Louis Vuitton one. Mm-hmm. Okay. So you don't think I'm worth a Louis Vuitton? Are you worth one? Because you in your 30s, you haven't bought yourself one. Why do I have to buy one? Why do I have to buy one?
Buy the bag.
Go buy yours. Expecting you to get him a Rollie or something. Right, or be like, well, I want a Gucci robe.
And you're like, why do you need a Gucci robe? Can't you get a robe from like Walmart or Target? What's the Gucci robe?
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly.
I think that we need to start learning that in some of these relationships, we should just be doing some of those stuff. Now, if we start to see that that's a pattern and they're able to, then yeah, they're probably, if they're the right kind of person, you know, and it's, you know, y'all are given to each other, then they'll, you know, catch on and be like, hey, I'm gonna go half on that new bag, you know, I'm gonna, you know, something, you know. I don't think that it's right for us to expect for some, we're just hanging out, we ain't doing anything special, we're not working out, we're eating chips, we're eating bonbons, we're not taking care of our bodies, just waiting for somebody to come. You're letting a bunch of other people throw cigarette butts down your vagina all the while, but you're just waiting for this special person to show up and rock your world.
Yes, because
fair for that person.
As a woman, we have, like, growing up, you have these expectations of what you want, what you feel like you need, and you create this list of things of what you want in a guy. Like that list. So I did something differently. So when I was like ready, like, okay, yes, one day I want to get married, cool, whatever. Instead of I created the list of who I wanted and what he wanted, what he needed to be, whatever. I created a list for myself. What do I want to be as a wife? What are the qualities I need to be for myself? I don't know what this is, but I did that because I'm like,
that's what you do.
That's what you need to do that. Why you
For
sit up here
real,
worried
I
about?
have not done that. I need to do that.
Yes, for what you want in the other person. What are you looking for yourself?
Absolutely,
and then you work towards that.
It goes back to that, knowing that temple and loving your temple. Like seriously, like what am I looking for? Sometimes do I even want to be a wife? Or do I want to rush this engagement? Maybe I want to be engaged and know that I'm committed, and then we're working towards that. But we are super committed, and there's a it's clear to the world, and some stay in that phase. Could be 2 years, could be 3 years, could be 4, and they're fine. They're okay with it.
Absolutely.
So sometimes it's about knowing what that means for you and what that looks like for you.
Mm-hmm.
Brooklyn Ariel is blowing the chats, and she's got some great stuff to say. Let's see, boundaries that they have to. She says we'll back it up slightly, and she said even with being clear, upfront boundaries have to be reinforced because there may be times when they are violated, whether intentional or unintentional. That is so true. So communication. So Brooklyn, communication, right? Mm-hmm. So let's say now you haven't known the person for 3 months, and they maybe want to try what they tried, on date 2, week 3 on you in month 3, and you're like, sorry, I still have the exact same, boundaries and rules about how I felt then. I am happy that we are seeming to be working out, but this is how I feel, and I hope that you can appreciate and respect, where I'm coming from.
Yeah, and you have to, like you said, you have to keep reinforcing that because months will go by and y'all are in this groove and y'all are kicking it, and then someone might cross the line, but it's like, okay, pause. We need to back this up. Let's reevaluate what we talked about at the beginning
of this
relationship. Like, you have to talk about it. It's continuation with the communication. You have to keep talking.
Oh man, and you can't ever stop talking.
I was going to say you've been married now for 4 years, right?
4 years. Mm-hmm. 4 years. You got to communicate.
Yeah.
4 years.
Yeah.
How long were you guys dating before?
It was 1.5 years, and we were friends. Like, we were friends back in 2011, and then we started dating in 2014. So
wow,
awesome.
That is awesome.
We created this friendship.
I love it.
Yeah, I like what you said. Let's see, Brooklyn she's back. She's got some more great things to say. Both. Just saying, whenever you're say you're in a engagement.
Oh, yes.
You need to be clear on who and what you're manifesting. So
she said, and sometimes we can violate our own boundaries.
We
can leave that alone. Listen.
Okay, so explain what she means. I know what she means. And somebody else explain because I talk too much.
I know what she means.
What did she say?
She said we can violate our own boundaries, but she's gonna leave that alone. I know what she means. Like, even though you're setting these boundaries, it's like temptation is heavy. And then if you put yourself in that position, and you're like, dang, but I'm already.
And you know yourself.
And you know yourself. I need to walk out. I gotta go. Look,
girl, where's my app Bible?
So how do you?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. And knowing who you are, though. I think there's another level to making these rules, right? The higher level of making the rules is knowing the flawed parts of your personality, right? Mm-hmm. The parts that are scandalous, the parts that are, dubious, you got to really accept who you are and say, well, if I know that if I go over here to Todrick's home today, even though I've been dating Todrick for 2 months, I don't know where things are going to end. But by the time I'm ready to leave Todrick's house. So I don't want any of that. My first mind is what my spirit man actually wants. My second mind and actions is what the flesh of me wants. I'm a human being that's alive, and I have hormones that can function, and I'm being what? I'm being aroused. I'm being stimulated. Okay, so I think,
and that person knows what to do to get you where they want you to go.
Where they want you to go. Yeah. You gotta understand that. Yeah, they've done this several times over. Okay, so they know what to do once you get there. Even though you said no, they don't care, because guess what they're gonna say? Where's the phone? Hey, yeah. I don't really want to come over though, because I don't want to go there. I'm not ready for that yet. Oh, but it's fine. You can still come over. I'm okay with that. That's no problem. I respect that. I'm cool with that. Really? Yeah. Okay, welcome. You get there, sometimes not even 5 minutes into eating popcorn and sitting down thinking you're supposed to really watch a movie and eat your popcorn like how Michael Jackson did in Thriller. Oh, this is so funny. He's already on your neck, he's rubbing all on your sides, he's rubbing down them.
They rub his feet talking about, I'm sorry.
Right?
No, give me my
So what if it feels good and like you have not had anybody like that in like a year? So what do you do?
Corlin, my husband Corlin, he was like, did I do that? And I was like, no, we did not do any of that, because like if we went to go watch, because we Disney fans, so we'll be watching Disney and stuff, and it's like he's never crossed that line. You have to know who you're dealing with. You need to know your person.
It's very important.
You gotta know.
So true.
Like, you shouldn't like, even if he's saying, hey, you can come over, we're not gonna do anything, we're just gonna watch this movie. You shouldn't be feeling all this pressure. Like, no.
Right. You should actually be content and knowing that a movie is all that's gonna happen.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
you gotta respect. That's called respect.
Mm-hmm.
Respect.
Yes.
Shanita says, I met a man who after a week started calling me baby and honey. I told him not to call me that, as that is not my name. He continued, so he got to know the block button. So she cut it off. So, he's not respecting her boundaries or wishes.
Exactly.
Why are you calling me, terms of endearment names, pet names and things like that? That's still trying to accelerate the pace of something whenever people start calling you those names.
Right.
And a lot of people now, like, dating is like, for whatever reason, it just goes 0 to 100 in their minds now. It's like, oh, I get your number. Oh, I get a key. Like, wait, what happens between that? Like, we don't even go out to eat or nothing. We don't do nothing. And then their expectations are so high. And then within a week or two, they're expecting like love conversation and marriage. And it's like, sir,
it doesn't look like that.
What?
You've always got to be careful of anything that's moving too fast, especially if it's the man coming on to the woman. I'm not saying women don't do it too. Let's just be fair. Whether it's the woman coming on to the man super fast or the man coming on to the woman super fast, those are some of the only once in a while. We hear those wonderful happy ever after stories from that. Most of the time, it's a setup.
It is a setup. They be homeless.
That's right. They have bad credit. They've messed up something in their lives, or they really messed up things with the person that they're not in a relationship anymore. They're gonna badmouth that person, lie to you, so you feel bad for them, let them.
It was their fault. It's their fault.
Oh, you're doing all that to them and everything. They're so ready to like go into your world and feel safe, and before you know, they start treating you just like how they treated the other person. So just be careful with that stuff, because it can really take you off course and really have you on the wrong path in life.
That's why you need to work on yourself first before you try to be with somebody, because when you know yourself, you won't fall for anything. Like, you'll be like, nah, that ain't, like, even though you want that relationship, like, you want a relationship, you want to be in a relationship, right? Know yourself, you're gonna know, like, he's not it. I'm not even going to waste my time.
And you're gonna be labeled a B.
Yeah,
but it's okay.
But that's okay. Hey, if we already have the stereotype of being aggressive, of being mean, can we actually do some of that to protect ourselves and not just as a reaction to having been disrespected. Okay, how about you don't even get the chance to disrespect me? You don't even get to come into my world. Let's start being more selective on who we let in our world. See, society has convinced us that we are the last choice in a woman. Okay, even for our own race, even for our own race of men, we're the last choice. Okay, so when someone shows us attention, okay, I'm not talking about myself. I'm just talking as a whole.
General, yeah.
You really
Yeah, that's true.
feel special, like, oh my gosh, he likes me out of all of the fake biracial Brazilian women with baby hairs on the internet. He chose
On
me,
Instagram.
an African girl with horsey hair and naps BBs in the back of my head. He wants me. Oh my gosh. Okay, well, let's see where this. No, you're a queen.
Everyone doesn't have access to you.
You're royalty. You're royalty. I don't care if you had a baby. I don't care if that person, but you are still a queen.
Yes.
And if a queen tends to her kingdom alone and takes care of it and manages it well and preserves it for the next generation, then a queen keep letting weird, strange men come in and infiltrate her kingdom that was running just fine. It was fine. It's fine. Tearing it down, and then she has to keep rebuilding it until she's too weak and tired and can't even rebuild it anymore.
Right.
Man.
They don't get that kind of access.
That's a word.
They don't get that access. You're a queen. Please remember, I don't care if you have a kid. I don't care if you have never been married before and you're in your 30s or 40s. You are a queen. I don't care if you made a series of bad decisions. You're a queen. Start loving on your temple. Start speaking positive things over your life. Start meditating, praying.
Yep.
Having positive affirmations. Eating healthy. Okay.
Your water.
Time. Cutting
Drink that
off
water.
people coming into your messages and all that. All that is energy from the wrong source, taking up your time and taking up your energy. You're no one's personal therapist. You're not getting paid. Stop playing therapist.
You ain't nobody healer.
You're no one's healer.
Nobody builder upper.
Nope, that's not your job.
That's not your job.
They need to go fix themselves. You can't run a relationship that bad. You gotta build a bear, have a build-a-bear man and build him up, or build a bear woman and build her up before you put her in a relationship. Man, that's not your job either. You're supposed to be a provider, but she needs to be ready to come into your world. Okay,
You need to be a whole person. This whole incomplete, like, oh, my life was incomplete until I met you. Me and Corlin never said that.
I don't like that. I don't like that. I don't like that.
I'm
complete.
I'm a whole individual, and I would like you to give your whole self. Don't give me 50-50. You're going to give me 100%. I'm going to give you 100%.
That's right. Absolutely.
You're building together. Two whole people need to build together, not this whole incomplete thing. Like, I don't.
This broken thing, and I have the love that you've been looking for. Let me heal you. You're going to get drained from that person. They're going to drain everything out of you because they're going to be like, oh, she's a sucker. It's a mean world out here, guys. You might have a good heart, but there's not that many good hearts out here, guys. Okay?
Listen.
Them men can choose somebody. You 35, they can go back 15 years and pick somebody and legally be with them. Okay?
Just fine.
Just know that people are not all honest. You can be nice, but you have to have respect for yourself. You have to have boundaries, and you have to slow things down. You slow things down, you can really observe. You speed things up, you're going to get caught up. You're going to get caught up.
Every time. Love
yourself.
Or you're going to get pregnant.
Or there you go. You're caught up. There you go. You're
caught up. Knows that because most of the time, 9 times out of 10, it's the wrong one.
It's the wrong one.
Wrong one.
Yep.
Oof.
Yep. Woo. Yep.
So be mindful. It's getting cold outside. Anybody started making any sudden moves and trying to move in, just know they looking for
we ain't this season.
Be very careful. And also, like they say, the Oprah month, a lot of bad spirits come out the rest of the year. So a lot of bad spirits are around. So just be careful because there's some very high level bad spirits that are very conniving and they can really fly. But again, if you slow things down and if you're truly loving yourself and having your boundaries up, you'll spot it. But you got to be good. And you also got to make sure you have that tribe like we talked about last week. So you're not out here doing all of this judging and deciphering and observing on your own. You got to make sure you have a tribe, whether that's a professional person, whether that's someone from your church, or whether that's from a girlfriends, or someone from your community, guy friends if you're a guy. Also, you can't be out there without a tribe, men. You are included in that. Well, guys, I can't believe we've already hit our 55-minute mark. I think we had a wonderful, chilled, awesome girl chat. I really enjoyed it.
This is awesome.
It was awesome.
I loved it.
Like we're all like hanging out, like just.
I have to make sure I add you, Chelsea. Chelsea.
Add me.
Yes, I'm gonna add you on Facebook.
Yeah, add me because I tried to like link your name and I couldn't find you. So I'm friends with Corlon, but I couldn't find you. Okay, so I want to give us some time before we hit our 60-minute mark for you to let us know any project that you're working on, any things that you want the people to know. We got our Thought Positive Media Tribe spans all across the world. So yes, go ahead, Miss Tamica Monroe.
I have a show coming up in Killeen, Texas on Black Friday. It's a comedy show. I'm opening up for Bryson Brown. If you know who he is, he's opened up for Bruce. Bruce, he's been on tour with John Witherspoon. He's a beast, actually straight out of Austin, Texas. So y'all make sure y'all come out if you're in Killeen, Texas, or if you're pretty close to Killeen, Texas, definitely come through. Black Friday is going down. And you can check out my podcast too. It's called The Righteous and Ratchet Show. It's a good little listen there. It's pretty
awesome. Okay, Miss Chelsea.
Well, you guys, I'm Chelsea Evans. Follow me on Facebook, Chelsea Evans. Also on Instagram, Pinned by Chels. I am an author, so I did my first book back in 2016 called God Boundary. Check that on Amazon as well. I'm working on my second book. Be on the lookout for that coming up. Need to finish that project. But yes, please check me out on there on those social media sites. I am always posting. Loving on my body and just showing my self-care.
Yes. Awesome. And hello, guys. I'm Tina Ricks, guys. Still getting oriented. This is only our fourth one. So just want to let you know I am a licensed marriage and family therapist, and I have a mental health clinic. Actually, there's several in Texas, and they're called, the company is called Better Path Family Counseling and Consulting. We are in Austin, Texas, San Antonio, Texas, and Houston, Texas. I'm also a film director, producer, and we have a 8-episode docuseries that is called Music and Mental Health, and it is on our Thought Positive Media page, or you can go to thoughtpositivemedia.com. All right. There's music and all that coming up soon. We ain't going to go into all that tonight. We're not going there. So we're so thankful that you joined in with us. Please bring a friend next time, okay?
Yes.
If you want to be a guest on Self-Love Sundays, please inbox us and let us know. Also, if you have anything that you want us to share on Self-Love Sundays, please inbox us and let us know. Okay? All right, guys. We're out of here. Peace, love, and light. Make sure that you go for these names that you see on here and support these Black queens.
Yes,
I forgot to mention, I'm comedian Tamica Monroe on Facebook. Sorry.
Yes, that was right, because you said you had a show, but I was like, yeah. So comedian Tamica Monroe, she's super hilarious. Okay, guys, check her out. And also check out that podcast. What was it called again?
The Righteous and Ratchet Show.
The Righteous and Ratchet Show. All right. Peace, love, and light, guys. We will see you next week. Bye. Love y'all.
Bye.
Oh no. Oh gosh.
Good life.